What are your views on boycotting Saudi Arabia and Umrah and Hajj?
Here's what my recent post on boycotting Saudi taught me about those who engaged with it, and why it was both encouraging but also a little bit disheartening at the same time. There were two groups of people: those who empathized with the things I said and those who were angered and triggered by the post. Now, the vast majority of people were empathetic, and whether or not they agreed, they understood the points raised, which were, number one, that we have collective power and we should try to use it to help people that are suffering by putting pressure on key players where we can. And number two, for those who have already performed pilgrimage, rather than spending more money on performing more rituals for God, rituals that he's not in need of, that it could be more important and virtuous to use that money to aid humans that are suffering and dying. So it was encouraging to see that the majority of people actually have the mental capacity to follow and understand a chain of thought, and that the majority are also humanitarian, placing human lives over rituals, which I believe is also the position of the Quran and Sunnah. The second group, fortunately the minority, got really triggered and angered by the post, and they couldn't actually respond to a single point that was made, and instead resorted to ad hominem attacks, slurs and childish insults. Now, whether or not they agreed, most of them were unable to understand the points I made and ended up with a warped conclusion, such as I was calling for a boycott of pilgrimage, when actually I wasn't making any assertions at all, but merely asking some questions. It was disheartening to see that the ones considering themselves the most practicing have the worst manners and are the most aggressive, the least intelligent and the most dogmatic. It was also sad to see that they couldn't empathize with human pain and suffering and valued rituals more than human lives. Their insecurities caused them to feel attacked when no one was attacking them, yet they have the loudest voices. And the biggest tragedy, in my opinion, is that the beautiful religion of Islam has been hijacked by this minority.